That was a dream start for Team Vitality. I'm now joined by the head coach, Gorilla. Now, that comp on Lotus is something we never see in EMEA. You would have not had a lot of practice again. So what was the plan coming into this? Did you manage to find a good counter for this composition?
I mean, we practiced actually against quite a lot of deadlocks, especially whilst we've been over here in Pacific, and especially also Tier 2 EMEA play a lot of deadlocks. So, and for us, we also practiced deadlock for a while, so we have a really good idea on how to play against it. Obviously, it couldn't convert in the trace game, but here it definitely did.
Yeah. And how are you feeling about that next one?
What, the next map? I mean, we're feeling pretty good. the mood in the team's really good at the moment, so yeah, we hope we can translate it.
I can't wait to see it. Good luck on the map too.
Vitality pick up the win on Lotus, and we were talking about before how important this particular map of Lotus is going to be for Talon. They had a composition that was very unique to them. This was their pick, and unfortunately, Mimi, it just did not work out in their favor. Round after round, it just kept falling apart.
Yeah, I think Team Vitality came in with a really good plan to exploit the lack of a Sentinel on defense on this attacking side. They found so many gaps in the setup. This round was a great example where we're going to see Sender just take full advantage of some of the weaknesses of this deadlock. The wall gets put down, and because that solo anchor player isn't watching this cross, doesn't hear that teleport, Sender gets through, then the team does a great job of buying some pressure for him over on B to activate this lurk and get the opening kill that wins them the bonus.
Yeah, this was a big masterclass from Sender in the beginning of the half, honestly. Yeah. He had such big moments. And
yeah, great calls across the board.
Yeah, great plays. Great calling, great playmaking ability, and then obviously he enabled, you know, Trax to just step up and go nuclear like he did. Trax to step up and go nuclear the last time that he played.
And you know a match is rough when a team is losing 8 out of 11 of their man-up situations. In that first half, 3 3v5s in a row lost for Talon. And I mean, just the fundamental mistakes in the positions where they had advantages. Look how many players in these clips are dying alone without a teammate to swing, without a teammate to trade. These things cannot be happening if you want to win against the best teams in the world.
And to have it happen back to back to back, it's just brutal. It feels terrible in the server.
It has to crush the mental.
Yeah, it wasn't even a 5v4, 5v3s. They were losing 5v3s in these situations way too many times.
With utility, with a deadlock all one of the times, they just couldn't do anything.
And we even saw in the second half, once they started to rally, put a couple rounds together, the game got ended on more of those individual errors and failure to capitalize on the situations where they had an advantage. You just have to slow those rounds down and focus on swinging for your teammates, setting up those crossfires, the fundies.
I couldn't agree more, but we wanted to see everyone step it up this time around. I think Kicks definitely stepped it up, got us our second ever 6K
But I mean, talk about swinging on your own. That ace was all about it, but credit to Kicks, he capitalized with some lovely shots.
Got to be able to execute if it's given to you, and he did just that. That's the second ever. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, that's wild.
This team is known for their fundamentals, the EMEA style, but they really do have some sick individuals on this roster that I think a lot of the global audience doesn't give them enough credit for.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this game definitely illustrated that as well, because one of the players that we wanted to see continue his good run from what we saw in the previous series that he played was Trex. And Trex did just that. He gave us our HyperX Reflex moment with this gorgeous 3K that he managed to nab himself. And overall, it's definitely just been the trend here for Vitality, right? They're a little beaten down, but those guys, it was a big thing coming into this event, how these guys always had each other's back. It was like the power of friendship practically with these boys, and you could definitely see they have each other's back here. It's showing in the server, it's showing on stage, and it's showing Baby Bay in their stats.
Yeah, 3 KDA is absolutely absurd at the scope that we're at right now. We're at Champions, right?
Yeah.
People shouldn't be able to just take over like this on Initiator of all roles. You think of duelist players like Ospas dropping 30s, maybe on Icebox.
Yeah.
But an Initiator player on Lotus to do this.
He was getting so many impactful ults too.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I mean, the 2 Fate ults he had back-to-back, I think he had 2 in 8 rounds.
Yeah.
And then one of them, Sender was able to basically cheese around one where he had that late lurk flank through C, and then Omen TP into Broken Door and just get another kill because the Fate ult had everybody silenced. They didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, no, a lot of great ideas across the board for sure. But let's go ahead, though, and see what's going on with Frost, Coach Frost, as a matter of fact, because we are going to catch some words with him ahead of Map 2.
I've got Coach Frost here from Talon. Now, you've shared your concerns in the past about situations where your boys don't capitalize on advantageous situations. So when they are losing those 5v3s, what do you do to say to them to get them back on track?
Well, they're professional players that get paid a salary to actually close those. So I'll just say this. The silver lining is we can get leads. We pretty much had a lead almost every round in that game. So that's a good thing. Bad thing is we're not closing out those rounds. So for them, I think they just need to take their time. They had a lot of time on either those post plants or those retakes, and they're just rushing. If they slow it down, we might have better chances. The fact that we have leads is good. The throws continue to be bad. Unlucky.
Well, best of luck on that too. Hope it gets a bit better.
And that was basically what we were saying up here as well, right? This is a team that has been struggling with the closeout. And Mimi, I mean, that they got to fix it if they want to win this. I'm
just saying Frost would make a great, like, little league coach one day. I feel like he has the dad who cares too much energy.
Seriously.
I don't know what I'm going on. That's not important right now. What's important is we're going into map 2 of this series. Talon's year is on the line, and they're making another composition switch here, going into the deadlock on Sunset.
Yeah, very, very interesting. And Primi, I think this might be his debut on Raze as well. I don't think we've seen him play Raze yet in VCT in general.
Yeah, not that I can recall. I mean, this composition also is pretty unique, and obviously for Team Vitality, it's going to have to come down to the adaptation like we've been talking about all day. They can't have prepped for this.
Yeah, we've seen what Vitality are capable of when they are in that adaptation phase, when they are thinking ahead of what their opponents are putting out there. That being said, Talon backs against the wall. It's either put up or shut up. You got to deliver here and force them at 3. Let's send it back over to Brennan Sideshow.
You got to make it happen here and now. There's not much time to really delve into this one because we're going to be getting into the pistol round momentarily with time ticking down already. Cover going out. Vitality, we'll see if they continue that trend of getting off to hot starts. Governor really overextended himself. You can tell how badly he wanted that first kill, and maybe a bit of a read into the minds of these players. Gives it up though. Ban's now going to be under all that pressure with a dart to his back. He does deal with it nicely, and still a smoke to play in and out of. Weaving through, but Kicks, he just dominates it, overwhelms it. Prowler up into his face, can't be played up off, and everybody's trading, coming through and out. It's a 3v1. It's what Primi's been delivered here. I'm asked to do so much in this spot. Man down, but already catching the contact. Another one for Vitality.
And another spot where Talon taking more individual kind of fights. Yeah, they were doing all right in those first kill departments, and so this is a move away from that. But it's still that individualism. Governor overstretching himself a little there, just opened the door massively for Vitality to come in, pick off players at their leisure. It is an interesting composition that we're getting from Talon, but it rotates around some similar ideas that Vitality have proven they understand. They know how to play, I guess in theory, against the deadlock. One could look back at the game against Trace and argue that they didn't do so well, but that's just another piece of learning data. They definitely went back and heavy VOD reviewed their loss to Trace.
And it was a bit of an understatement, I think, to say that this is going to be an uphill battle for Talon. Gargantuan at that, because Vitality, you know, they're very comfortable on this map. You look at Talon's comp, you see a lot of trap play potential, I think, with C's, nades, grav nets, Cam to take the contact to set up most of it, but Vitality playing their own game, taking it nice and slow. Mid-control fully conceded up here, so Talon have access to it, but...
This is a little similar to what they were doing in previous rounds on Lotus, where they've actually managed to get the stack right this time, though. This could be different.
And this could be dangerous. Knife. Sort of tags, not too sure of that one. Still, the wall's going to be up. Grab net down. Nade rebounds alongside the Paranoia. Save, you cannot get out of there. No movement ability going to be saving you from that onslaught. And now forced to back away. Vitality, 34 seconds. They have none of that prior map control here. It's Sender who's going to be tested.
30 seconds
up through, there's a smoke towards him. Plenty of targets lying in wait. It's all about how you overcome it. And with the Bulldog in hand, swats down any players that might be just trying to offset him, and he's even going walkabouts himself. He could donate a gun. And with the noise made, Ban, responds by taking him out. Kicks, though, still with that plant down, and it has landed themselves into a 3 versus 3.
Jitboys is going to run back to pick up the Spectre, so they're going to be a little late to start this retake, but they've actually got the weapon advantage.
As absurd as that is. Primi's going walkabouts, but he does have a player at his back. Jitboys alongside him, holding it. Runner with a jump spot, just seeing them, now knows. These players are walking out here, running away in the danger zone. Certainly, yet still shot to the dome. Jitboys dropped and away. Primi sidestepping. Knows that there's players there, but needs to wait for his teammates' backup as well. But Ban is just getting... He needs to get a move on, to be honest. Time is of the essence! Primi! He does put a few bullets back into them. Still, that turret... I mean, the circle's going to be retreating. It's already done.
The time?
The round's lost. I don't know what to say in that spot there.
I think Primi and Ban could have played that a bit quicker to actually play for the win in the round instead of just trying to do economical damage. That is a weird one.
Yeah.
Technically, a Red Bull clutch.
Technically. Sponsors will be happy.
Yeah.
But
do they want to be associated with a round like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone at Red Bull that just happened. But yeah, that's big round from Kicks, I guess, surviving in that spot.
Economical damage, at least.
Yes, it is. It's only Sender, though, that's buying up in this round. The rest still taking it as a bonus.
It's paranoia held here, Talon. Seeking to fight off of this one. Again, they've got the cam to take that contact. The shock dart into the corner. Grab net through with the swing, Jit boys. Finally rewarded.
Nice.
Play that's cooked up. Talon, they've got the advantage.
That's the second round in a row that the Gravnet's been followed up on beautifully as well towards B main.
Yep, but it's all about converting it because Vitality will default into these contact plays once more. And Cruz, perfect timing with the peak there. Send it. They're not quite trained properly. Rifle retrieved, kicks up through the gut. Now, might be laying siege here. This guy, underhanded with the flashes, dodged in time, but he can't survive the bullets. Cruz, with him falling, massive gaps into the play. 50 seconds to play with if you are Vitality. Once more, they could slow this down. They're going to need to if they want to reclaim the spike, but it's again contact re-clears. Talon are side by side. It's all about who wins this first fight out. Governor, he's there. Steady with the aim.
Good movement as well. Governor making sure that that's not another 5v3 that falls away from Talon. But could I say that I was confident they were going to close it out? Not at all.
I'm holding my breath in those spots from what we've seen.
But the early round is really nice. I think it's actually even better than what we were seeing on Lotus. The early round, yes, they actually got first kills in 12 of those rounds. The first kill, again, was 12-7 in favor of Talon on Lotus. They lost 13-6. So
it's unheard of almost.
Yeah, truly unbelievable stuff. But Talon doing a great job here of making sure that they get those advantages in the early rounds, and they do actually close one out. Like I said, it was Sender that forced in the previous round, so he's now got a stinger. And we're getting more aggression out of Talon. Trying not to sit passively and let Sender just have his run over the game.
Sender's just holding this area down, just with the stinger. He doesn't know on the other side of things what might be laying in wait. Primi, good to take that first contact with Trek's going to be dropped as well. That's a seize out and through as well. Plenty of players left to be dropped here. And lovely work indeed. The knife just a little bit too delayed there, not enough to remove the rocket in time, and Primi will not be budged from this spot. That is lovely work. The reactions of this guy, the young gun that they brought in to shore up a bit of firepower, paying off. Vitality not getting away with the same funny business. The contact plays that were just completely opening up rounds that they should not have been winning. In theory, shut down, but Kix does have the spike in his back pocket at an open side to play with.
He knows where roughly all three of the players are. But these are not bad situations to play.
Hear the sound. Crix knows they're going to be coming towards him. Haunt is dropped here up and over the top as well. Governor playing for his life, and beautiful peaks, beautiful spam damage just to supplement that. Making sure that he doesn't give his life away unnecessarily.
What a round from Primi too. It's not something that I got the opportunity to mention early on, but he's never played Raze in a professional setting.
Right.
I mean, I assume he's been spamming it in ranked. I haven't looked at his tracker recently, but he's a bit of a all-star, can pick up seemingly any agent and still play it to a really high level. He's got tons of that ranked experience. But you watch a round like this and he looks very comfortable in terms of how he's using his utility, the ult, picking a nice timing to go for that re-clear of A.
Yeah. Really intelligent.
And remember that this is a map where you look at all the stats, every metric you could possibly pull tells you Vitality are way better than Talon on this map. The teams they've beaten, the attack win rates, the defense win rates, everything. And yet
here we are. That is some tricky business to try and overcome here for the Talon players. Still, Governor stands strong, kicks. Sheriff in his hands, he makes it sing, only for the 2 kills before the trade is out and through here. And with a spike drop down, Safe is going to just try and wrap this one all the way behind them.
It's not bad. He's put pressure on to get a Vandal into his hand just as his ult was running out.
Or a Theft and Runner as well. They're going to know where these players are. Spots them out.
So many disadvantaged positions that we've seen already on Sunset. We were seeing tons of them on Lotus. Vitality yet to win.
I got Spike.
Safe picks up the spike.
I'm out of here.
Trip's going to be placed as well. It's going to be alerting Jit Boys.
Yeah, I mean, breaking that instantly might have been the better angle there for Jit Boys, but he's worried.
Yeah, backside control is going to be played. Biding his time here, Jit Boys, even with the ult as well, to get that information up top onto the market box. Clears it, another Safe is here. He wants to try and take the fight to him, but the Annihilation just trades it out equally. Still Runner is there. He's taking a fight. Could potentially break it out. No, wants to try and take this fight one-on-one. No, okay, Safe is alive and kicking. But still, plan for the back of the site now. Jit Boys already sends it flying with the Paranoia. Smoke up into his face. Wins that first one. Needs the second time against him and just presses it forwards. Out of the smoke. MasterCard Thrifty sealed up, locked up Vitality. Winning that one.
And not just a Thrifty, but another situation in which they were down players in a 2v3. Kick's doing a great job with the Sheriff early on, and Safe also providing them opportunities to win the round by getting that Vandal in mid. Runner contributes excellently as well. I think Runner actually played the situation beautifully. He's caught between dealing with Jit Boys, pushing him away, trying to break the ult. You can see there in the reaction from Safe. Happy with how that one turned around, but also at a bit of a loss as to how they keep being able to win and kind of like clutch out these situations.
Absurd,
down players.
It's truly absurd. We keep harping on about it.
Because it's so unusual.
Yeah. Ban tagged up. We'll have to give up that space now. No command. Be emanating out as well, pushing Talon back and away, but it does orchestrate pretty nicely. The fights that they're trying to take here. Smoke's dissipating. Plant now finally down. You could default back into this B main angle, as we know and love. Or hate in most situations.
No flank. No push down mid. Very standard, and Trex even with an ult to work around. These spots are incredibly tough for the retakers to deal with.
So Talon, they've saved most of their util for this one here. Still knife against the back wall. There's a grab net into it, along with the nade into the corner. Cruz, he's sticking the defuse. He's already got that half. Hunter's Fury has to be offloaded here, and needs to find value. Kills, lighting these players up, and still a bound of damage is done. Primi already with that half, but spam down, sprayed down, and the gunplay doing the work. Ban not able to do it at the end either.
Our first time seeing what is normally an extremely standard situation for teams to get into. Talon didn't really have a great answer there, but they were good at least in terms of getting onto the spike as quickly as possible. But like you said, it's such a tough spot to get through. Safe gets 3, just spamming through smokes into that position where he knows people are going to be diffusing.
Yeah.
And Talon didn't find an opportunity to push aggro into B main, couldn't really apply any util pressure, couldn't get the flank down mid. And now, look, tides turned. Economy damage for Talon.
The default early on by Vitality. Sender's going to be trying to catch that contact over towards aim most of the time here. It's against the eco of Talon, but they are stacking this with enough players that I'm worried about the danger. Once more, Primi catching that contact and still swinging through and wide. He does just find the 2, still safe. Wrangles the beast that is his rifle and just swiftly deals with any opportunity, any opponent. So, Ban's here. Does find Runner up through mid into that 1v2. And
that's going to give him a gun.
Claimed a gun.
Gives him a chance.
Yeah, he's got the info. He's going to know where these players are going to be trying to play.
Trying to be quiet, threatening, like he could have flanked, could be coming A main.
Discipline from Vitality here. It's going to be steadying their hand. No one actually decided to take the contact onto this one, so Ban dropping the cage. The dart. Placed what? Okay, at least nicely here. Once more, another tap ban. He has forced that fight out into the wide open here. Safe, a lot to do. Ban sticking already. He's earned himself half, and that builds him. Wincon's time earned as well with the damage done to Safe. Surely, inevitability Safe. My goodness, just in time.
Playing that on an absolute knife's edge there. Safe also would have died to a single bullet. Health down to 32. Damage from the Vandal 40. Playing things on the finest of margins. But he was required here after Primi hit a collat with the Guardian. Safe was needed for the cleanup and the clutch. Hasn't been a great tournament yet for Safe, actually. For somebody that, again, I would have in my top 5 duelists in the entire world. Safe's been slow to get going. He played pretty well in one of the maps to open up against Trace, but
yeah.
I mentioned it at the end of the first map. He said one of his biggest things that he was surprised by, or biggest learning moments from this year, was learning that he can rely on his teammates, that he's got them people there by his side. They've built up bonds within this Vitality team, and Safe's a player that's been talking a lot about the mental struggles that he's been going through for years now, actually, but especially this year while he's dealing with like grief, bereavement, and pushed himself and the rest of his team to champs despite that. He's struggled a little individually on this stage, not quite up to my expectations, his own expectations of him, but other people around him have rallied, and then he's, you know, finding his moments here, like in that final round.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not required that he has these superstar level performances for Vitality to be a winning team and roster.
It might do as you get later through the tournament.
For sure, I think it's going to be necessary. I think the tighter the competition gets, the harder the teams are. But for now, at least, you know, he can lean on his teammates back and have that safety net there. But for now, at least in this map here and now, he is showcasing a real strong performance. He's 11-4. He's our kill leader across the board here on this map.
Now, a few of them were ecos and a few of them were through smokes, and he might be getting caught here by an ult play.
Yeah, naded us back to the bullets through. Listen, a little bit of damage was necessary, I think, just to topple him over.
They're doing a great job of following up on these grav nets. Everyone has been perfect from Governor on defense. Combo there with the Raze nade. Again, Primi hasn't been playing Raze in pro. Cruz looking for a re-clear.
Yep, and Sender also just contacted most of this way. Bando, it's an off angle to be played here, and Cruz lovely with the movement. Survives but a moment to at least survive that fight and take it further forwards. Runner up through mid, and Talon with that contact re-clearance.
Runner's been going for that same thing every time.
Yeah. Kicks up and over, that flash. Very orchestrated and easy enough to dodge here. So finally, Talon not letting rounds like that slip when they get that opening kill.
Learning a little about the tendencies of Vitality. They didn't even have to burn the showstopper there. It's a great trap. Safe's got to be worried about those. B main is looking deadly. Talon managing that space very nicely. And of course, they could be trying something aggressive in the next round with showstopper online. You can see people double blast pack down mid or something, go and take tiles control. Tons you can do with this ult on this map.
It doesn't look like any level of aggression for now. Same old, really.
It is. But another spot where Primi can look to try to take contact, defend the ult orb, and if he gets pressured, try to take one, back up, use that ult. Very similar defensive protocols that we've seen before.
Yeah, it's not entirely safe when there's a KO on the other side of things, but it takes a bit of coordination, I think, as well to make sure he doesn't have any options. There's no way. Primi is going for the peak. One player spams, and it makes him think that it's only the one play in there.
Yeah, getting baited in. Vitality were one step ahead.
Maybe there's that inexperience, I think, rearing its head. It doesn't matter about your mechanical ability. Those are the kind of plays that tiny in the micro, and that's to give you that advantage.
At the same time, though, and Frost was talking about this in the press conference, Primi's so good he can sometimes break those rules and just decide, I might get a 1v1 here if I play the angle well enough. Here comes Vitality through market.
And still, it's Cruz looking to lock this one down as well. Plenty more players, but that came from with a dart. Drop down as well. He's going to try and deal with this one because Ban was hyper-committed. Up onto the corner. Vitality have barreled over these players now. Through the back of the site, and Orof will reveal quite a lot in terms of these defensive setups.
The flank?
Yeah, it's being spotted. I mean, they know Governor's here as well. Trex is going to be able to spot that because of that Orof from earlier. Now Jit Boys, 45 health. Vandal in hand, but A long shot away from trying to win this round out. Now the plant isn't precisely against the wall. Could create openings for him, but the amount of players he's got to get through with the flank already occurring as well. Trex is hotly on his tail. Can't even spam down a trip. 3 bullets left. Doesn't even want to commit to that reload. Backs himself away around the corner. Again, Vitality not willing to really fight, but they'll take it anyway as time was running short. That's a 6th round now that they've built up.
And looking strong. Talon came out with a pretty powerful opening, winning round 3, winning round 4, made it look like they might be able to challenge Vitality on this map, despite all of the numbers. And yet, as we get deeper, it's looking more and more like the favorites are taking control here. Premi's yet to offload this showstopper. It's his 2nd one, and now he's probably not going to get another.
Yeah.
So looking for the moment to get the most value out of it.
I think you do have to be worried to a degree as well with the KO. Most teams, if they're at least good on this map with their attack side defaults, will be holding a knife just in case there is a showstopper play.
Yeah, I mean, here you can see that Kix uses it in B main. The question is, are Talon, are Primi thinking about that kind of stuff? And also, what's Chip Boy set up for here? Throwing the paranoia through to tiles.
The nade. My goodness, I mean, a few stray bullets right through the box is enough to get the job done at least there. No command through and out, dropping players, Kicks down to his knees. Aldo overdrive, and Governor has handed that perfect timing. Pre-aims it onto the corner as well. Safe just ran straight into him. Trex, bit of a bait and switch, taps it. He's trying to pull these players wide out into the open because he knows he needs that chance and advantage, and it will not be there. Talon still fighting back, still battling back, and a chance really for them to equalize at the half.
Another kind of sick Gravnet nade combo. Talon now have all 5 ults online, ready to go. And these set plays have not actually been around ultimates. They've been around Gravnet nades all across the map. Changing up the position that Governor and Primi are playing really fluidly, very nicely, and catching someone almost every single time. Still, they lag by 2. But it looks like Vitality are trying to go into this showstopper.
A real vital round at that. Round 11. They feign, at least at the beginning here, Vitality like they want to try and make it an attempt to fight over towards the A site.
Cleared out immediately by the Prowler. And now Vitality have to go and make more space in that direction.
Now through the top section of mid. Primi, drone in his face. Paranoia 2 will push him back and away here. This is Talon trying to make a play happen as an annihilation, but it's wasted. Rebounds off the back wall. Cruises somehow grabbed himself 2 kills in the mix of all of that. Just crossing up through mid. It was an open angle that wasn't smoked through the top of it.
Vitality looking there to try to punish on the annihilation. Didn't realize perhaps that Talon had 3 players facing, and like you said, 2 go down. Another 5v3. Talon can't keep losing them.
I'm not sure when, but Primi, he did offload that ult at some point.
Yeah, looking to try to deny the space that the drone was taking, I would imagine.
Grouping up by Vitality.
This is looking like a very tough round for Vitality to win. They're going straight into the stack. 3 players here looking to defend. Surely this is a win for Talon.
Shockdart only removes a portion of it. The grab net is beautiful, pushing past and away. Governor trying to set themselves up for the fight. Doubled up, taking it. It's traded. Bant is there, leaving it down to just Runner. Trying to isolate those fights out, but even if he won that one, the time was against him entirely. So Talon now, just one more step is all they have to take here to even it up 6-6.
I've never seen such good grab nets. They're genuinely incredible. Another one there. Re-clear through mid. Here we're watching the way that Cruz was able to pick up 2. That was after the annihilation. Gravnet is catching safe all the time.
Yeah.
He's throwing it pretty consistently into these neon walls, but he's also just catching the timing perfectly on the trap plays, the space creation. People from Vitality falling into it very often. And as we were praising Safe for being 11-4 earlier, he's now 11-8. Hasn't been able to find any kills after that eco round and the clutch. The entries are really going missing for Vitality today.
Is there anything to set Safe up here? Up on all sorts of angles here. Cruz, the Prowler catching that contact. He knows that there's players up through the top section of mid, dodging most of the util coming his way alongside that Seize. It's a Nightfall. Enough to offset potentially there. He's got the decay damage kicking in with a Hunter's Fury in the back pocket. Trex letting it loose. Talon going for the play. And you don't have your gun out. Primi will happily make you pay. This guy unleashed now and flips the map, takes the spike, control now, granted it over towards them. It's Vitality that are going to try and fight their way past this one, at least with the player advantage. There's 3 of them there. Cage up in their face. Here in the footsteps, Runner just about scurries away.
Governor and Ban haven't taken too much space off the back of this. They're playing very cautiously through mid. They do not want to get caught by a lurk, but it's given Vitality a ton of room to go and get that spike and get the plant down. It's an advantage, sure, but they haven't really turned those kills into a 1 round. And they're really not close yet. No. They're just playing with so much caution, trying not to overheat, trying not to make those same mistakes, but giving a ton of respect and a ton of space to Vitality.
Sometimes be to your own dismay, Jit Boys. No way you commit that. He does indeed. The ult is straight there and through, and a player not into position to really play off of that one. Still, the grab there is beautiful and good, but there's no follow-up. Still time. Kix is going to be able to just pull that tag right out of him. Shorty in to try and clear these angles. 3 versus 3. Util abound. Cage to get themselves in along with the barrier mesh as well, seeking to lock these players out and away. Governor, it's a tap. And forcing out wide once more, still alternating. Primi with 3. Before he's dropped, Governor sticking half onto it. Beam down. Ban delivers that final blow. Necessary onto the last 2. That's a 6-6 finish here on a map that was... Listen, by all metrics, as we've already said, it should have been a slam dunk for Vitality.
Coming out here and winning the pistol off the beginning too. What a recovery for Talon. Looked like they were going to get it done early on, and I'm very, very impressed with their util usage. Sloppy towards the end, but it's been good for the majority of this half.
Yeah, and listen, casters love it when we've got a game in our hands, and I think we've got one right here, right now.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Astonishing recovery, really, for Talon here. This is with them losing the pistol round on Sunset, still bringing it 6-6, and really off the back of some stellar coordinated plays. I mean, the GravNet combos were beautiful, as you mentioned, Josh. You know, they were always making sure to play off of most of that here, and I want to know, how deep does this playbook run as well on a map that we haven't really seen too much? We haven't seen it at all, to be honest, with this composition that they're playing, but it's all about what happens here and now on the next half of Sunset.
You're getting that big performance coming out from Primi too. So many spots where he's pushed into an aggressive angle, clearing out A main or B main, and does a great job. Not all of it with utility, plenty of it with his rifling as well. Hasn't really been a player on Vitality that stepped up in the same way that we saw on Lotus from Kix and from Trex, where we were getting massive individual rounds from Vitality to bail them out of disadvantaged spots. The clash looks like it could be occurring B main here. Nobody on Talon getting caught by that knife.
Oh, and now they've just contacted right up behind this one. Safe. It's alongside, they've got teammates in space. Still, the stun is going to be connected onto himself. And the nade rebounding. How the hell did you get out of there? What are you doing, Safe? My God, there's no composure in sight. He just sits on it like a bloody egg.
I mean, there's not much he could have done in that spot. The nade was pretty perfect to lock him into a corner. It's the stun that was bad, and Vitality losing a player through mid as well and couldn't respond. Sender, he takes the space.
This is a little bit all over the place. I think Sender's looking for a noise cue now to be a bit of a playmaker into the round, but he's sitting at 3 and 11 right now. Dire straits for him individually. And Tim and Runner are going to be asked to bail them out of this spot to keep that stellar pistol record intact.
If Sender finds a good timing here, And Talon are thinking that it's a normal B retake, coming from Boba, coming from Market.
Significant chances. Jitboys is so damn low. One shot would do him in. Sender spotted him out here, and a lot of util to play with, but he's still going to be holding on to the corner, and he's landed it onto Primi. With him gone and dusted, the last two players are weak enough himself. Sender could just do this single-handedly. And Sender needed to be big, and big it is. Cruz, though, enough to bring it back to that 1v1. Smoke in his face, 25 health. And Spike still planted for him. Time, pressure against him. And Sender just holding. Steady hand, spamming away. The Ghost in play. He needs to make the most of this spot here with a horn to reveal. And Sender lit up like a beacon. Weaving in and out, the time is played to perfection. Cruz, he's toying with him. And finally, it's Talon who earn a pistol round.
They're first of the match, and that's what experience looks like there. The oldest, most experienced Talon member, a small smile he allows to grace his face. And Talon take the lead for what's got to be the first time in this entire series, I think. Don't quote me on that exactly, but the first match was a bit of a blowout. Vitality have been winning all the pistol rounds. They won the bonus as well. Talon look like they've got those opportunities for the first time in this match. An opportunity similar to when they played against Leviathan, and it looked like they were in the game and had a shot to win it. Now they did end up choking that away a little bit. They lost all 4 rounds at the end of both maps, but they could see the finish line.
Hopefully learning from that experience. Not wanting to make the same mistakes twice, because it's elimination. The tournament life on the line. A trap play with great success. It's offloaded here by Vitality. Earns him to kill, at least against Governor. Not too sure if he dropped a weapon.
He should have done. I mean, it's only Ban that saved this round, so there should be something for Ban to pick up, but he's nowhere near. Look, he's exploring through mid now with Jitboys, finding good timing onto Runner, but also dangerous positioning.
Yeah, as well, just spotting it out. Still, Ban to try and recover. Bloody hell, Ban. He's on an absolute worldie right now. Still, he's going to be dropped by kicks.
And also,
from behind,
huge weaponry dropped, right? There's a weapon down over towards A main, unless they've juggled that away somehow. And there's also a weapon up there in Connector, which Sender's quickly going to grab.
Kicks is trying to get ahead of this one. He's going to hear these footsteps as well as an off angle, but it needs to be first shot accuracy on display. And it is. Vitality, recovery, inbound with a knife tagging. Primi's position noted, spotted. Vitality defaulting back into that discipline. Doubled up into the high-low. The tap forces them now creep in ever so closer to potentially that round win. Damage done, and Primi just not aware that they were playing that one together. A MasterCard Thrifty, and for all we were singing the praises that Talon were finally getting that pistol round under their belt, that's going to flip it directly on its head.
So brutal in these kind of spots. So Ban and Jitboys go to try to make the play out through mid. It was Kicks that really cleaned up. Ban survived on 1 HP until that Sheriff shot came through, and that's a crucial duel that happened over towards B main.
Nice, boys. Nice.
That's what they've been waiting for. Kicks once more up towards the top of the scoreboard, having vast impact for Vitality today.
He's been dominating.
With the Sheriff too, he's had some big moments. He was part of how they managed to win a Thrifty round with a player disadvantage in the first half. Primi's been unfortunate in these clutches too.
Trying to re-clear up through mid here. You're right about that. I mean, Primi in the clutch. Maybe just again, you know, kind of that inexperience rearing itself onto the big stage, because it's very different. Listen, clutch scenarios, the way you play them in ranked versus actual tier 1 play. Blinding. It is different. It's the reason the pro players are here.
But it's also, in some sense, you know, unfair the amount that Talon even asks of him.
Oh, for sure.
Talon and all the Talon fan base expect Primi to be dropping like 30 every single map.
Yeah, the community narratives is like this guy is just God incarnate.
And of course, he's very talented. He's exceptionally talented.
I must wait a moment.
But he's a ranked superstar that is still getting his feet wet in the pro scene.
Yeah.
He has to clutch every round.
Exactly. Got to pump the brake with the expectations every now and then. Here, Talon thinking that they might have got themselves a free and open sight. Shock darts flying forwards as well with that rifle. Phantom play runner is looking nice with it. There's no ace in sight though. Ban could look to do a bit more damage as well. Especially against the economy. Time running short as well. Will need to open himself up and wide. That's unfortunate.
The Vitality are going to be in a massive position here. They're almost going to have their own bonus round coming up. Round 16. Their economy's looking good. They saved a bunch of rifles. Only one got dropped. So now they've got a bit of a freebie round to throw in here. And Talon are the ones that could get plunged down into another eco. Or at least another round where you're scrapping together a buy at the very best. Primi 1 away from getting the showstopper. Is that what Talon are looking to play towards over here on A?
A lot of pings. Try and brute force their way past the initial A fight here. Primi just satchels all the way through. He's got the horn, at least to back him up. Gives him a bit of that peace of mind. So they earn the orb for now. Picks it up.
I like the stun that they place down as well, making it more difficult for Vitality to re-clear through elbow. Remember that this comp on the attack side has quite a little amount of initiator utility to work with. They don't have those flashes that you would normally see from KO or Breach.
Sensors being placed all over the place.
Just waiting in case Vitality go for a re-clear.
Yeah, Neighbor's good though. Just from the Boombot and the Paranoia, so it's going to be wasting that util and pulling it out of Talon.
Knife held, anticipating a showstopper. Kicks is not going to let Primi get away with that.
But this is all the right protocols right now from Vitality.
I love this wall, though. Look at this wall that's blocking off Safe's rotate at this point. Making it feel like they could try to pivot into an A-split.
It's a showstopper and a fight as well. Looking to split their way through. Knife collected, and that's why he had to see the showstopper with an early release here, yet still Talon are prevailing. With the gunplay and weaponry, util out of the hands, Kicks unable to land that punish. Underhanded with the nade as well. At least a flash still. Collects the one before the trade is online by Primi. Still with that plant as well, Talon. They get that extension now into round 16. Slowing it down, you can take a pause and a breather, but Vitality now pushing forwards. They've got that dart. The timing taken by Primi. He's pushed past it. The util unexpected and the spray transfer not hit. Leaves it down to Trex. Unaware by Governor. But does he know that Primi's placed himself here towards the back of the site to clear this one? Fully unexpected! And there's those mechanics on display. No sitting duck from Primi.
Had to dodge a couple of bullets coming through. I don't know that that's the cleanest kill I've ever seen from Primi, though.
But the movement got him through it.
20 and 10, he sits at the top of the scoreboard for Talon. He's on pace for that 30 bomb that the community expects from him in every one of the Talon matches. But it's 8-8 the score, as you said. I think Vitality got a little too aggressive there at trying to clear back through market. As soon as they shut down the showstopper, they wanted to capitalize on that, hoping that they caught Talon unawares. But Safe once more shut down, trying to get the entry on a big team fight. Governor's one away from getting the annihilation. It is a tool that you can use to open up.
Yeah, if you know the angles, right? Sitting there, I'm going to be picking it up, so it's the ult earned, but with the spike drop down into the middle of nowhere, paints us a nice little picture, I should say. The Talon are going to be trying to go into this one nice and slow.
It's a good cam break as well. Runner's cam is good for re-clearing B main, good for retake situations as well, so Talon remove that. And now Vitality don't actually have too much information around the map, it's only A main.
Zender, you've got to get the hell out of there, man. Still annihilation, rebounds, nobody to be caught. That little web here, ban up through mid, breaks the drone as well. It's going to be sowing a bit of misinformation, and it does at least keep these Vitality players a little bit tethered. Now the Nightfall collides and clashes into a multitude of players here. Vitality
they're leaving.
Going to have many sound cues. They don't want anything to do with it. Maybe just off the back of the trails, even connected. But Vitality didn't shift away from these sites. They still have a bit of control up through top section of mid and onto B. It's kill trips to be played off of once more. Ult stuck, committed, Sender. That's reinforcements that are now arriving onto this side. Pyromesh is here. There's the kill trips and Runner happy to oblige. Plays off it beautifully. Sender's there still spraying away the Phantom in play. Out through main. Nobody can hold a candle to these players right now, but still Talon might be able to barrel their way through anyway. 8 seconds left, but they are all gonna fall in the end.
And that's a messy one from Talent attack side calling. They hadn't even broken the market door when they decided to take that pivot back through B. I'm not sure exactly what it was that spooked them so much, but they did not like the idea of ending A, even after throwing in the Nightfall. Scrambled, spacing all over the place as Talent desperately made their way back over to the site. Hadn't accounted, I think, probably for Sender's ultimate, which reinforced Runner's position and allowed them to shut that down kind of easily. Talon are broken again.
Yeah. Money's just never feeling like it's in a good enough spot.
Ever since they lost the follow-up to the pistol. I mean, that is the thing that ruined their economy.
Getting go for this mid-play. There's a rifle in the hands of Primi again. He has to be a solo player to really do the most. If Talon are able to pave their way at any portion of this round, silver lining for them is that they're close, at least to the showstopper, 2 away.
Cover going out.
But how many more chances are you going to get? The map is rapidly approaching the finale point.
Sender's going to be pressured. Oh, that's a huge knife.
Maybe only tagging onto the one, not too sure. Grab that, Sender. Avoids it. Paranoia is good as well. Alongside the nade, TPs have to be used to try and evacuate this space. He's got backup here. Kicks alongside it, safe. Going to be throwing all sorts of util into the face of these players from Talon. Stunting them. Can't take a step forwards as well with that spike drop down, but it is going to be recovered.
Well played by Sender in that spot. It was another good grab net, but he avoided it. Played in his teammates nicely. And Safe's going to take contact over here towards A-Link.
Needs to be the big player now. The team's going to be swinging off of that contact, making sure that they just turn them into mincemeat. 2-round lead for Vitality. They're looking to keep that going even further now.
And Kicks has generated up the null command, which is going to be great for shutting down the showstopper on the other side. And Primi's getting close to that one. It's another ultimate that he's just got to think so hard around when he can even find that timing. Talon take a timeout. It's feeling a little like Talon's game against Lev, where you believe that they can do it. They've found some really good moments. 8-8, and it's starting to slip away from them.
Yeah, and you can't afford to let that happen.
Against Leviathan, second map, they were 8-9, lost 4 in a row. They lose 13-8. On the first map, they were up 11-9, lost 4 in a row. Lost 11-13. These end moments, maybe it's the strat book running out. Maybe it's the rookie players getting a little nervous as they can see the finish line. Maybe it's just luck. Maybe it's a coincidence. But it feels real in this kind of moment, real enough for Frost to hit the panic button, use his final tactical timeout. Vitality haven't even used one yet.
Which is strange. I was just thinking that. I mean, it's like they've been getting tested for all of this map, but
I think the reason, though, is that they lost the final 3 rounds of the half. And so, you know, if you use a tag timeout at that point, you're already,
sure.
You've already played the majority of that half. You get to talk to the team at the halftime break anyway. They probably just didn't anticipate how much Talon winning those final 3 would push them.
This is one that Talon have to win. Round 19, enough money in the back pocket. Scramble to give it a buys, even if it is on the half armor. One away from the big ultimate of the showstopper. This is Vitality. Looking to take that early A main control in space. Flash to set it up. One way now for Sender, so he's going to just maintain control of that one. It's good protocols from Vitality. We saw how easily basically Sender dealt with the GravNet combo that was supposed to be clearing out of that spot. And in through mid, Ban going exploring, but as the gun sticks barely out, Safe is just trying to hunt him down and shut him down still. This is the danger zone. Surely you don't overextend right into this one. Shorty in the hands. 5 bullets left. He is hard committed, and Ban still gets out with 1.
Pretty incredible from Ban there that he got that one to work with. When Talon get reset, they're worried about mid now. Vitality have shown presence in that area. Can Jit Boys poke out the A site and realize that all is safe, all is empty?
He did pull Sender away. I think he was scurrying to try and at least help out with the util with the paranoia, right?
And now that Kicks is dead, no null command to stop Primi's ult. So this showstopper, he can rip it whenever he likes.
We'll see if Talon even hold on to it as well. It's an open site. They don't know that. They're going to be using it just to make sure it's fully cleared out. A lot of util alongside it. Even though the horn didn't get broken, it's paranoia too. The fuse is going to be running short. Not too many options available. Here onto the flank. This is an important one. Safe just with the adjustment. First shot accuracy not quite there from Cruz. Didn't land it to the dome. So Safe finding that opener in the midway part of this round, going for re-exploration in through the back of the site, very wide with the face, and the movement lovely still, but sprayed down nevertheless. Grouped up enough for Vitality to win this one, and now at least Primi has to lock this one down. Overdrive, damage done, and still, yeah, baits out the initial shots. Primi just couldn't stand still and hold his ground.
Another 1v2 that's asked of him. I like the play from Talon as well. They choose to get aggressive in the postman, but they didn't realize they were going to be facing there into 4 players. They're expecting the retake to be split up a little more than that. Talon, they hit their shots at the start. The safe kill on the flank and then the cleanup towards the end was very nice from him and Sender. Safe finding another round to have his value. 11-8. That finish line choke, unfortunately, looking like it's hitting Talon again with elimination on the line. If they lose 2 more rounds, they're gone from champs.
And that's your year finished. A scenario that no team ever wants here. It's all about pulling yourself back up when you get knocked down, and Talon have struggled with that aspect of their game. Going for the reclear now, though. Gravnet, just from the Prowler being broken. Paranoia, it's almost beautiful. In fact, it is. We're safe. The kill collected onto him.
They're really nice. They knew that the Gravnet was going to be good on the right side, but before they got punished by people from A-Link. This time, that flash comes through from Jit Boys and allows Talon to follow up very nicely. They are adapting. The players are making adjustments. Is it too late?
That's the question that's asked of them. Ban hearing the footsteps. He's given away another kill. So 4 versus 4. That's where we stand so far here into this round. As an ult online for Jit Boys, going to be able to use this to get some information through into the back of the site. Big reveal. Ult's going to be broken. They know that they're anchoring in, but it's going in pound for pound. Sender, he's also going to be reinforcing this site up. This with a Nightfall scatters through. My goodness, Sender delivers that death blow. Jit Boys. Surely too much to overcome, and the timing couldn't be better from that one. Vitality. Hard facing, swinging into him, gets him up to that 12.
Another 4 in a row at the finish line that Talon have lost. And Sender with a second Omen ult to go and reinforce the opposite side. Both rounds massively important that he got that one through. Picks up Ban over towards A, and he's still winning rounds over towards B.
Yeah.
3 more kills defending. Super similar to when he did this in the past, as Talon had that scrambled pivot.
And it's do or die now for Talon. This is it. Do you survive in a tournament, or is it all curtains for Vitality? They can taste it. Victory. It's on the precipice. A lot of noise made here by Talon. Not much of a slow default being held. They are heavily grouped up now. Almost like they're going for the one last hurrah here.
Yeah, not even any information on the other sides of the map, apart from that trip, which admittedly has not been broken. It looks like Cruz here is going to try to put some pressure onto Sender. Drag these players in the middle of the map over towards A so that they can make that B split easier.
Out for mid as well, safe. That's composure. It's a steady hand with the Phantom in play. 2 bullets does the job and drops Governor. First kill here for Vitality. Might be the beginning of the end here for Talon. They're left wondering, man.
The recon as well. Finding Ban.
Go, go, go.
Talon still committed to this B split.
There's players to meet them.
Run has been good.
We've seen rounds like this, but this could be the tournament life of Talon just ending in the blink of an eye. It all comes down to this fight here. Contact to be caught by Safe. Out through Market. Maybe even expected he could have chopped it up already. Horn up and over. Stun. Lay it down. All intended just to slow this one to a crawl. Kicks already with a no command. It's waving out. It's emanating. Nobody to deal with a dart. And only 2 left to stand. Ban holds strong, but only for a moment before the nade removes him, and Jit Boys has to do the ultimate. It's all in his hands. It's all on his shoulders. And he is not long for this world. A 13-8 to finish this map. Vitality survive.
Survive being an important word there. For Safe, he lost 0-2 in groups last year with Team Liquid. They were the #1 seed. He was determined not to make that happen again. Facing elimination here today, they've sent Talon home in their place. A good run from Talon, honestly. Good that they pushed Vitality a little here on Sunset. Good that they were even here in the first place with how many rookies they had in that team. But they've fallen short of that high standard that Cruz and Frost set for them. Their year has ended. They'll be back to the drawing board thinking about 2025. You can see it in the body language. They hope for more from themselves today.
They can take a bow, I think. They'll walk away from this, probably not in the here and now, but at least later on. think being proud of some of their performances against some of the best in this tournament.
But Vitality look like they're back, at least in terms of the calling and the way that they're operating. Definitely things that went wrong for them today. Going down -5 in first kills on map 1, that's got to be something that they fix for the future.
Oh, yeah.
But the way that they recovered in those moments, winning so many of the 3v5s, their attack side calling, the way that they navigated the threats on Sunset, there are a lot of positives to take away from this win. But it's still going to be tough for them to get out of groups. It's very, very tough.
I mean, the job's not finished, is it? That's what Champs is all about as well, just fighting to survive sometimes for some of these teams. Disappointment settling on the faces of some of the talent players, but Vitality at least can be happy with their performance today, happy with just winning this one out as well, keeping that tournament run dream alive just a little bit longer.
I think a lot of people will be taking a look at this version of Vitality and thinking, okay, if Vitality play like this, can they beat Leviathan? We've had a massive upset in this group. I don't care that Safe doesn't think it's an upset in the press conference. Trace being able to explode out as the #3 seed from China and go straight through to playoffs has set us up for Vitality Leviathan. One going home, one goes to playoffs. That's massive.
That's just an insane outcome as well, as you said. I mean, nobody's going to be expecting that at all. And the question is, have Vitality showed up enough? Have they learnt enough as well to tangle and contest up with a Leviathan team in that lower of their group? One of them's got to go home, which is just a ludicrous statement.
Yeah. I said that Safe lost 0-2 in groups with Team Liquid last year at Champs. That's the only top 2 seed from EMEA that's ever been grouped at Champs. Vitality still have another game that they need to win against the #1 seed of Americas to avoid that fate.
Oh, we'll see how Safe's feeling about it as well. Let's send it down to the stage for the Verizon post-match interview.
Hello everyone, it's Bella with the post-match interviews. I'm joined by Vitality Safe. Congratulations on your win, Safe.
Thank you.
네, 바이탈리티의 세이프 선수 만나보겠습니다. 원래 고릴라 코치가 탈론 상대하기 쉽지 않을 것 같다라고 이야기를 했었는데 그 말과 반대로 오늘 정말 손쉽게 탈론을 상대한 바이탈리티였습니다. 디사이더 경기를 앞둔 중요한 경기였던 만큼 오늘 승리 소감 먼저 들어봐야 될 것 같습니다. You know, Coach Gorilla said facing Talon might be a challenge, but your game today proved otherwise. With the decisive match on hold, like, as your next step, tell me, how does it feel to win today?
Feels pretty good, obviously. I don't think I've ever won on a champion stage before. I think this is my first win on a champion stage, so obviously it's extra special. But obviously, you know, after facing Trace, the emotional part of the team was like, oh, are we like, what's happening right now? Are we like disconnected? What's going on? So we worked a lot in the past few days with like just synergy in general and how are we going to get ourselves back on the page. And I feel like we showed that today.
이제 세이프 선수는 챔스 경기에서 우승한 게 오늘이 처음이라고 합니다. 이전에 트레이스 e스포츠의 경기 이후에 우리 팀 원래 되게 강했는데 대체 어떤 점들 때문에 이렇게 실패를 하게 됐을까 그런 이야기를 많이 했고 준비를 엄청 많이 한 다음에 오늘 승리를 끝내 가져갈 수 있었다고 하네요. 안 그래도 트레이스 e스포츠 경기 이후에 좀 어떤 식으로 이야기를 나눴는지 좀 더 자세하게 들어보고 싶었는데 한번 물어보도록 하겠습니다. Speaking of Trace, I wanted to ask you guys, like, how did you make that recovery so swift? Because, you know, you said you practiced a lot, but today, like, practice, like, it's important?
I mean, we have staff that work with us to help us with these specific things, whether it's in like getting the team back together, working on our synergy, working on our like the micro things or macro, doesn't really matter. We have people around us, staff that are provided by Vitality, that are amazing at what they do, and yeah, no, they really helped us.
이제 이런 거를 주로 도움 주는 스태프분들이 있었기 때문에 이제 짧은 시간이었지만 바이탈리티가 다시 똘똘 뭉쳐서 오늘 제대로 된 경기력을 보여줄 수 있었다고 합니다. 다음 상대 레비아탄을 만나게 되는데 얼마나 자신 있을지 한번 물어보도록 하겠습니다. Next, you're facing Leviathan. How confident are you?
I'm feeling pretty confident. I feel like the way we were on the server with each other today, the way I heard people speak to each other, and just the general work ethic we've had all around the board, I feel like it's leading into a good pattern. I feel like I'm very confident with the way we've been doing it. Yeah, the energy is there. The energy is there.
이제 오늘 경기 흐름 같은 거 보고 오늘 커뮤니케이션을 토대로 생각을 해봤을 때 되게 좋은 방향으로 레비아탄의 경기를 끝낼 수 있을 것 같다고 하네요. 그러면은 바이탈리티의 세이프 선수 인터뷰 만나봤습니다. We'll be back after the break to see PRX versus Foot Esports. Bye.
Red Bull gives you wings.
I see what he loves about you. You're so perfect. Hope you know that you